Welcome to Beards and Fears. I'm Brian, and today's review is Brian Williams' Time to Kill.
Who's been sleeping in your bed? Who's been sleeping?
So Brian Williams here offers his own tribute to an exploitation style film. And Ellie Church, his wonderful wife, actually stars in this movie and did a phenomenal job with character development as well as keeping the movie pacing with her great one-liners at points and also fantastic kills. Now, Brian and Ellie are not foreign to the horror world. As you might have seen earlier, I posted a review on Play Me, one of the first horror shorts that Brian decided to do. He also was the killer in this movie and did a really great job showing his chops with his camera abilities. Now, don't get me wrong, Time to Kill did have some things that I would tweak. First of all, I must say right off the bat, I'm not a fan of this genre. Exploitation films is just something that I don't really normally get into. But like I told Brian in a personal message, he sold me. He won me over, and I actually loved watching this film from beginning to end. Now with that being said, the things that I kind of wished were slightly different were just normal tweaks that you always have in independent movies. For instance, at some points, the audio was a little bit lower on dialogue when the background music kind of overpowered it. But it really didn't take too much away from the actual story, and he kept it going very easily because of the wonderful camera work that he did throughout this entire movie. Another thing that Brian did so well is that he took the idea of independent filmmaking and took it up a notch. Brian converted his own entire basement and other parts of his house and utilized it to create this film. So most of the movie takes place in this strip club, for instance, which was completely made in Brian's basement. Another thing that was extremely solid with this is the camera work, like I said previous. I was sold on how he was able to recreate a look and a genre, and actually felt like I was watching something that was done in like early 60s and 70s. Now I'm not really sure exactly, like I said, I'm not a fan of this particular style, but I've seen enough little clips here and there in my past to know that Brian has studied his work and actually understands what it takes to make an exploitation film perfect. And last, but definitely not least, is the soundtrack. One of the things that I absolutely love with this movie is that each piece of music was really thought through. It was picked to help move the movie along. Just not having music around just to be there, but actually really worked for each scene. Brian did a great job, and I saw in the credits at the end that the opening sequence with the music was actually written and performed by Brian Williams. And so, great job to him. Really helped this movie quite a bit, and honestly, I think where most indie films kind of lack, Brian was able to really push this film through because the music was so particular to each scene. Alright, so there's really not much else to say. Like I said, the only thing that I would probably fix a little bit was the audio aspect. Of certain dialogue I couldn't hear as well because of the background music. I'm not going to give too much about the plot actually. What I can tell you is that we have our main character who gets some information that she might not live, actually she won't live, within 24 hours from this information that was given to her. So she has nothing but time to kill, so to speak, and goes off and takes care of business. With that, there is definitely some plot twists and some spoilers that I could totally give away, but why would I want to do that? Just don't want to do that. Go out, check this film out. You can buy it on their website as well. I've seen it on eBay. I even heard that people tried to pirate it at one time. That should tell you something, because this is an indie film, people. This isn't a Hollywood thing where people try to pirate all the time. An indie filmmaker who made it on a budget is getting his movie pirated. That's pretty freaking awesome. Sucks, but it's awesome too. So good job to Brian, everybody at mostly Harmless Pictures. Be sure to check it out. All the links will be below. And leave your feedbacks and comments. And until next time, thanks for checking.